Good evening, namaste, welcome to this evening's slow flow. My name is Maxine. If we haven't already met in class, then welcome. If I know you, thank you so much as well for tuning in. What a great joy it is to be able to connect with you guys in these strange and interesting times. We're going to play with a really nice, slow, juicy flow. There's going to be lots of different options for all different levels. So you might like to have a couple of props, so perhaps a yoga block if you have them, or maybe some books if you don't. And we're going to begin seated, as I am here in a kneeling position. So you might like to grab yourself a cushion. I've got a meditation seat. I know not everyone will have one, so a couple of firm cushions will work equally as well. And when you're considering what you're going to have as your prop for your base, just think about it being firm enough and tall enough so that as you come to sit down on it, the pressure is relieved from the knee joints and the pelvis can slightly tilt forward. So there's a sense of freedom around the lower belly and the lower back. So just grabbing those bits and bobs that you think you're going to need. And then coming to join me in this simple kneeling position. Now, if kneeling doesn't work for you for any reason, you're welcome to lay on your back. Ideally not cross-legged for this particular breathing exercise that we're going to take. So on your back with the knees bent and the feet planted, or in a kneeling position, supported seat. Okay, so let's begin. And if you are choosing to listen to the playlist that I've created for tonight's class, just leave it off for the moment, and we'll just start with a few moments of stillness and silence. Okay, so let's bring the hands to rest into the lap. If you're laying down, rest the hands on the belly. Just let your eyes close. And take a breath here as you land into your seat or your position. And just observe as you become still here what immediately arrives into the mind's eye. Maybe something, maybe nothing. Just noticing how it feels to become still, how easy it is to let the eyes close, to remove the distractions of the external world and start to turn our gaze inwards to our inner landscape. I'm just noticing whether that feels comfortable or not. And however you feel here, just take a moment to tell yourself internally that, or the words, I radically accept whatever is going on right now. So whatever you're experiencing in this internal world, within these oceans of emotion and experience that flow within you, within your fluid body, whatever the tide is bringing in, accept it, be with it. Understand that whatever you're experiencing is needed and valid and honest. And there's nothing within you that isn't okay. There's nothing within you that needs to be shunned or pushed away. Everything is to be welcomed. Everything is to be embraced. And through this embrace, you allow everything to move through you. So rather than turning your back and pushing anything that feels uncomfortable into a corner or hiding it in a box, allow it to be there. And just breathe. Soften into your jaw. Soften into your shoulders, your hips, and feel the weight of your body grounding into the support of the earth underneath it. And feel the earth rise up to greet you, to embrace you. And let yourself relax into that embrace just a little bit more here. Starting to reattune that listening ear to the language of the body, the non-verbal communication that arrives when we take the time to get still and quiet and to listen to our intuition, our gut feelings. So exploring our practice, our asana practice as a sensory feedback system, as a sensory experience rather than as a cerebral, considered thought experience. Just let yourself feel into the body a little bit more here. Let go of any tension. Observe everything that comes up through that tide on that ocean within you. And then just begin to gently wiggle the fingers and the toes. Take your time to just start coming back into the room. Give the shoulders maybe a little roll back. Take a few breaths, turning the head side to side, easing into the neck. Lovely. And then just coming back to center, and when you're ready, opening up the eyes, take a few blinks with the gaze dropped down the cheeks. And then when you're ready, lifting, coming back into the room fully. Beautiful, well done guys. So we're going to stay seated. If you're on your back, you can either join us in seated or you could stay on your back. It will work each way. And if you're joining me with the playlist, then just go ahead and press play now. So we're going to bring the arms out in line with the shoulders. And just pause here for a moment. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Relax into the elbows and the wrist joints and begin to electrify out through the fingertips. So there's a feeling of almost like the fingertips are being drawn outwards by a magnetic pull of energy, connecting you into this web of energy, of source connection that surrounds us at all times. Close your eyes and just breathe into that feeling of expanding through the front body, opening up the arms like wings. Let the heart space lift a little bit. Take a gentle arch into the spine. And then just with an exhale, draw the arms in, wrap them around you. Curl your chin to your chest and scoop the belly to the spine. Nice. With a breath in, begin to unfurl, unraveling the wings. Feeling a sense of the arms being opened. Little arch in the spine. Good. And then wrapping the opposite arm on top this time, start to curl inwards. Wrap the arms around, chin in. Draw the belly to the spine. Good. 3 more times. From your belly button, begin to expand out. From the collarbones, reach wide and let that extend out along each arm, opening up your wings. Feel the fingertips extending wide. And then from the center of your body, begin to curl back inwards, wrapping the opposite arm on top, drawing yourself into this gentle cuddle of the self. Twice more, slowly with the breath. From the belly button, from the center of the body, expand out. Lifting the heart, lifting the face, stick the bum back a little bit. From the center of the body, curl your way back in, belly button pulls to the spine, arms wrap around, chin tucks. Last time with the breath, open out. And curl back in. Let's open out again. Take a nice big breath in as you arrive. Straighten the spine as you extend the arms wide. Good. And then just turn the palms down to face the floor. Okay. Close your eyes. Start to press down through the tops of the shins. Good. The soles of the feet if you're laying down. And as you press down through the tops of the shins, through the soles of the feet, can you feel this sense of rebounding, lifting energy, puffing up underneath the armpits and carrying the weight of the arms on top of it? Spread out the toes, ground down into the earth, and feel this reciprocal rise up through the armpits, through the underlevel of the arms, allowing the shoulders to remain soft, the elbows and the wrists to remain soft, and the arms to just be buoyant, suspended here within this web of interconnectivity. Good. Flip the palms up, take a breath in and reach the arms all the way up over the head. Interlace the hands, re-spin the palms away from the head and take a big stretch here. Push down to reach up. Good. And if you're seated, you might have a little lean side to side. Good. Receive these movements, especially if you're moving quite deeply. Receive the sensory feedback. Can you feel this relationship between pushing down to rise up? This connection between the front and the back body working together to stabilize the torso. Good. This marriage between your connection with the earth underneath you and the sky and the space above and around you. Nice, come back to center, reach the arms all the way wide. Again, magnetize the fingers all the way to the sides of the room. And then slowly draw yourself forward onto all fours if you're seated. Draw the knees into the chest if you're on your back and rock your way up to an all fours position. Let's just take a moment here to stretch out the backs of the legs, easing the knee joints, and take your time here. No rush. Good. Start to spread the fingers, connecting down into the earth through the palm of each hand. And just take a little shift of the weight from left to right hand here, really easy. And as you shift the weight, notice how the arms work a little harder as the weight comes more into one hand and then over to the other. And then arrive in a place that feels like center, where both hands and both arms are working evenly to support the weight of the shoulders and the chest here. Good, knees under the hips, feet hip distance apart. Begin to draw energy up through your arms. Plug the upper arms into the shoulder sockets and start to arch the spine. Lift up the crown, lift up the tailbone, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Nice, now begin to pour down from the shoulder blades all the way down the arms into the ground. Pour down from the hips through the thighs and press down to the tops of the feet, the palms of the hands as you round the spine to a cat. Lovely, reverse that, draw up from the earth. Plug the arms into the shoulder joints as you lift up the heart, lift up the head, lift up the tail. Good. Pour down from shoulder blades and hips into the earth, and as you press the floor away, let that round the spine. Nice, 3 more times. Draw up to arch. Receiving from the earth, receiving from the world around you with each inhale. And with each exhale, offering out something of yourself. Keep moving. Good. And you might close your eyes, or you might just soften the gaze. But in some way, turn your gaze inwards. Worrying less about what's going on in the external world, less about how the outer lines of the body look, and being more interested, more curious as to how it feels inside. Nice. Come to a neutral spine, tuck under the toes and press the hips all the way back to the heels. Nice, and then just walk the hands forward until the forehead can rest on the ground. Keep the forearms lifting so the shoulders and the arms are active. Very good. Reach back through your heels, stretching out through the toes and the soles of the feet, and breathe here. Press down. Feel as you press the palms down, this rebounding energy that opens and puffs up into the armpits, creating space across the upper back. Good. Begin to pull the hands back towards you, and with an inhale, draw yourself forward into an all-fours position. Untuck the toes, press down through the tops of the feet, and scoop the tailbone as you slowly lower the thighs, the pelvis, the belly to the ground. Good, pause there, bring the chin to the chest, push down through the hands and the feet, and slowly pull the heart forward and up to a baby cobra. Nice, just pause there, chin parallel to the ground, push the pubic bone down, squeeze the bottom gently. Good, feel this marriage of effort and ease, pressing down to lift up and create space across the chest. Lovely, one more breath, draw the elbows in, pull the heart forward, and then slowly release down. Kiss the floor with your forehead. Tuck your toes, push down through the hands and glide the hips all the way back onto the heels again. Take a breath. Good. And then again, pull the hands back towards you as you glide back into an all-fours position. And now push down and just float your knees an inch or two from the floor. Very good. So if it's too strong to float the knees, you can keep them down on the floor. Otherwise, just hovering them just above the floor. And again, just like we did with the hands in that all-fours position, start to pad left to right side, playing with lifting one foot, lifting one hand, lifting the hand and the foot on one side, taking it over, just playing with this balancing of the whole weight of the body. Good. And then arrive again in what feels like center. Pausing, keeping the knees hovering from the floor again. Draw up through the arms into the shoulders and begin to arch the spine. Lovely. Keep arching the spine, look forward, and then push down through the hands and glide the hips back to a down dog. Nice. Take a few breaths here in your down dog. Open up the feet. Keep the knees and the hips soft. So micro bend in both knees. Tilt the sitting bones to the sky as you drop the pelvis forward and feel the low belly draw in and the bottom ribs soften down. Good. Spread the fingers. Press down through those arms. Receive up through the inner wrist into the armpit, creating space underneath the arms as the hips lift higher. Beautiful. Let's inhale, travel into a short plank pose, keeping the hands and feet where they are. And with your exhale, bending your knees towards the ground, hover or bring them all the way down. Good. Draw up through the arms and the feet, arch the spine, look forward. Look forward as you glide, pressing the floor away, back to your downward facing dog. Twice more, roll forward, breathe in. And drop the knees towards the ground. Good, draw up to arch the spine, open up the heart. Press down and glide the hips back. Nice, one more time with your breath. Take your time, no rush. Beautiful. Well, you'll meet in a down dog. If you're tired, if it's too strong for the arms, bring the knees down, rest in child's pose. And I implore every one of you to rest as often as you need through this sequence. Okay, full moon, very strong, powerful energy with this super moon. And it doesn't always make us hyper energetic or buzzing with vibration. Sometimes it makes us lethargic and heavy. Sometimes it makes us very emotional. So just be mindful of that. Good, keeping the knees nice and soft. Spread out your toes, your fingers. Press down through the arms and start to gently draw the forearms together. Feel how that spreads the collarbones. Nice, take one more breath. Beautiful. Let's bring the legs together at the back of the mat. Come to join us if you're in child's pose. Pressing down through the hands, shift the weight into the left foot and reach up through the right big toe to lift that leg to the sky. Good. Now just pause here in your three-legged dog. Push down more through your left hand. Reach your outer left hip back and feel that spin the inner right thigh to the sky. Even the weight between the two hands and the bottom foot. And just pause here. Begin to dilate your awareness out to receive every sensory bit of information that the body is telling you, that the body is sending to you right now. Good. Draw the front ribs down. Draw the low belly in. Lift to the tiptoes of the bottom foot. Gather in your core, and from that, draw the right knee all the way forward and step that foot to the top of the mat. Good. Place the left knee to the ground. Slide the left hand a little bit further forward and take a big sweeping action forward and up with the right arm. Good. Follow that hand with the gaze. Turn all the way back, reach it all the way around. Good. Repeat 2 more times. Sweep it forward and up. Push down through the front hand and foot. Big circling action through the shoulder and the arm. Sweep it under and forward. Good. Feel the fingertips magnetizing up and away as you sweep. Lovely. Place the right hand onto the right knee. Turn the right toes out slightly. And as you push down through that bottom hand, draw the shoulder blade into the upper spine and start to turn the torso towards the right. Good. Let the hips sink forward and down. Let that right knee turn out a little bit if it wants to. Lovely. Take a breath here. Beautiful. Then bring that right hand down. Square the front toes, frame the foot. Press down through the hands and the front foot and float the back knee off the floor. Good. Send the hips high to the sky. Push down. Make the space underneath you puff up into the armpits and step that right foot all the way back to a down dog. Nice. Pause there. Find your breath. Soften the knees. Soften the hips. Choose a steady gaze between the heels. Breathe. Nice. Bring the feet towards one another at the back of the mat. Press down through both arms, hug the forearms in, and then shift the weight into the right foot and through the inner line of the left leg, to the big toe and the inner thigh, float that leg to the sky. Good, now pause here, three-legged dog, press down. Press down through the outer edge of the right hand, and from that, reach the right hip back. Good. As the right hip reaches back, let the inner left thigh spin to the sky, even the weight between all of the supporting hands and feet. Good. Dilate your awareness, take in every single part of this. Breathe into what you're feeling. And then rise to the back toes, gather in the core, and step that left foot to the top of the mat. Bring the back knee down, slide the bottom hand a little bit further forward, and with a big sweeping action, left arm reaches forward, up, and around. Good, look back as it reaches back. Twice more, sweep it all the way up, push down as it lifts. Feel the fingertips electrified, reaching back in space. Good. One more time, connect to the web of life around you. And this time, as the left hand comes all the way in and down, place it to the left thigh. Turn the left toes out slightly. Push down through the little finger edge of the bottom hand and press the outer edge of that shoulder blade in towards the spine. From that action, let the chest spiral open towards the left and sink the hips a little further to the ground. Good. Breathe in, stay connected. Feel where you're touching the ground. Press down, spread the toes and sink the hips. Good. Start to release back forward, square the toes, frame the foot. Again, press down through your hands and your front foot and float that back knee off the floor. Keep pushing down, let that lift the hips higher, lift up under the armpits and step all the way back to your downward facing dog. Very good, breathe here. Soften into the knees, soften into the hips. Lengthen the back of the neck, let the crown of the head, the weight of the crown of the head drop towards the ground. Simultaneously push the floor away with your arms to stop the chest from collapsing down. Nice. Breathe in, roll forward into this short plank pose, keeping the hands and feet where they are. Good. Option 2 again, bring the knees to the ground or you can keep the knees lifted. Now just like we did in all fours and hovering, play with the transfer of weight. Left to right, foot to foot. Good. And then also forwards and backwards here. Reach back through the heels, reach forward through the head, lean side to side. And then arrive in what feels like center. Stretching back through the heels, pressing down through both hands, crown of head and tailbone reach away from one another. Draw the front and back body together, look forward, and then however you need, bringing the knees down if it's easier, lower slowly onto the belly. Good. Tops of the feet to the ground, push down through the pubic bone, the hands and the feet, rise up to your baby cobra. Good. Pause there for a moment, draw the inner elbows in, and as the inner elbows draw in, lift up from the waist towards the armpits. Very good. Spread the toes, press the little toenail down into the ground, reach the heart forward. Relax your jaw, take one more breath, and then release down to the ground, yielding into gravity. Good, tuck your toes, press down and glide the hips back onto the heels. Good, keep the action moving, roll up through the spine, sweeping the hands all the way around behind the feet. Plug down through fingertips and toes, puff up through the heart, baby camel. Good, chin in, keep moving, roll all the way forward, roll the shoulders forward, sweep the hands forward, plug into the ground, lean forward, find even weight through hands and feet, glide the hips back to down dog. Beautiful, breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Shift in your down dog. No need to be static. The body is not static. We are constantly moving, constantly in flux, constantly changing and reforming and reframing to maintain this space of homeostasis, this space of ideal situation to thrive. Good. Take a breath. Nice, bring the feet a little closer together, shift the weight into the left foot and again float that right leg to the sky, pressing down through the hands as it lifts. Gathering the core, step it all the way forward to the top of the mat, good. Now press down through that front foot, reach back through the left heel and float the arms all the way up to high lunge. Nice, take a moment and pause here in high lunge, soften the shoulders down and put a micro bend in the back knee. So again, nothing is static and solid. We're buoyant, we're fluid. Our body is 70% water, like yield into that, lean into that fluidity. Good, take the arms back up if they dropped. And then begin to reach forward with the arms and the chest. And as the chest comes parallel to the ground, sweep the arms all the way back behind you. Feel the fingertips being pulled back in space. Interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, pull the hands back, and as you lift up the chest, soften the tailbone down towards the ground, making space for the spine to lift up through the heart. Good. Take a breath here, soft back knee, ground down through the big toe on the front foot, little squeeze of the bottom as the tailbone drops down. Good. Straighten the spine, reach the arms wide and up, breathe in. Slowly release down to the ground. Nice. Now walk the fingertips forward, lean forward into the right foot and pushing down through that front foot, step all the way to the top of the mat. Nice. Take a halfway lift, pressing down through all 10 toes, the center of each heel. Rise up halfway with the chest. Good, again, reach the arms all the way back behind you and pause there. Feel the fingertips reaching, being pulled back in space. Take the hands together behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and as you pull the hands back, bend the knees and lift up into this arched, wide seat Utkatasana. Good. Take a breath here, lift up through the center of the heart, lift up through the tops of the ears, and then fold, draw the belly in, soften the front ribs down, and as the front body closes, let the back body open. Good, breathe here. Spread your toes, again soft through the knees, let the pelvis tilt forward, lifting the sitting bones to the sky. One more breath. Good. Bend into the knees, press down through the feet. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Good. Shift the weight into the left foot, step all the way back with the right. Good. Soften into that back knee, and when you're ready, finding your feet, little bit of buoyancy through both legs, sweep all the way up to your high lunge. Nice. Good. Fluid body. Spread out the toes on the front foot. And imagine that your left foot was trying to make the perfect imprint in wet sand. So every toe, the outer edge of the foot, the ball of the foot, the center of the heel, all rooting down. And from that rooting down, lift up the inner ankle, the inner knee, and the arms. Good. Soften into the back thigh. Lovely. Now begin to shift the weight forward. Reach back through the right heel, arms and torso parallel to the ground. Hold the torso as it is, sweep the arms back, interlace the hands behind the back. Good, squeeze and pull, soften the back knee, and as you rise up, let the weight of the tailbone drop down. Lift up through the center of the heart, squeeze the bum, lift the face. Good, take one more breath. Good, straighten the spine, let the arms reach wide and up. Keep pushing down through that front foot. And then coming all the way forward and down, grounding the hands to the floor. Good. Press down, lift up the hips, space beneath the armpits, step back to a downward facing dog. Good, take a moment here in your down dog, connect down into the earth through the hands, and then when you're ready, roll forward to a plank. Good, again, just pausing there in your plank, bring the knees down if you need, play with the transfer of weight. Shift it left to right, forwards and backwards, arrive in center. Feel a sense of the air underneath you supporting the spine, drawing the belly muscles in. Good. Like you had a beach ball underneath the body, as you lower towards the ground, feel that resistance from the air underneath you. Good. Lift to a back bend, high or low, shoulders down, push down through the hands. And then draw up through the arms, tone the belly in, and lift the hips back and up to down dog. Good. Feel the weight of the head drop down. Soften the jaw. Find space through your joints. Find space with the breath. And this space that we're looking for, this space that we're creating in the practice, where we allow the body to be fluid and malleable, and we step away from super straight lines and really controlled breath. This is the space that the yogis were talking about in their ancient texts. It's this ability to create or to experience that huge expanse of space that's within every single one of us, allowing us to unwind, allowing our emotions to unwind, our body to unwind. Create space. Beautiful. Shift the weight into the left foot. Inhale, take that right leg up towards the sky. Good. Step that right foot all the way forward. Gather in the core. Bring that left knee down to the ground again. Good. Draw the hips back, framing the right foot with the fingertips. And as you pull the hips back, pull the right toes towards the sky. Good. And then re-ground, bringing the weight back forward, plant that foot, and maybe sweep your arms to the sky. Good. So just see how it feels. Maybe you don't have enough weight through that front foot to take the arms all the way up. Yeah, maybe you come halfway up, maybe you don't, maybe you just lift the chest. From wherever you are, bring the chest forward, frame the foot, and push down as you take the weight back towards the left heel and lift the right toes from the floor. Very good. Again, draw the heart forward, re-bend that right knee, press down and lift up as much as feels good through the spine. Good, again, yielding forward and down, frame that foot with your hands, press down to draw the weight back, and now just hold yourself here. Good. Feel free to pad the back knee if it's a little bit too much, if you're working on a hard surface. Micro bend into the right knee is very welcome, and you can play here again with bending and straightening. No need to be stiff. No need to be still. Good. Press down through that right heel and begin to slightly pull that right heel back towards you. And as you gently press down and pull back, feel that right leg plugging a little bit more into the hip socket, drawing the outer right hip back a little bit more. Good, one more breath. Nice. Start to draw the weight forward from the heart, reach forward, ground that right foot, good. Plant the left hand under the left shoulder, sweep that right arm forward, and then all the way back again. Good, pause there as you're reaching. Now if you need to just lift up the back knee to ease into that joint, go ahead and do that a few times. Good. Now we're going to start to bend the back knee. Okay, not all of us will take this stretch, and that's perfectly all right. If you have a strap handy or a jumper, you're welcome to use it. Please resist the urge to be attached in any way to holding your foot. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're unable to find your foot, work your hamstring instead. Squeeze that butt, pull the heel to the buttock, and as you push down through that bottom hand, reach back and possibly find the foot. If you are holding the foot, lift the hips up away from the floor, connect the heel and the bottom together. Now squeeze that hamstring to keep the heel towards the buttock and drop the hips to the floor. Very good. Press down through the little finger edge of the bottom hand, connect that shoulder blade into the spine and twist a little deeper. Good. Release slowly the back foot, re-sweep the arm all the way up and over. Good. Plant that right hand inside that right foot. Good. Spin the left toes all the way behind you. Good. Keep planting that right hand. Use a block if the floor is very far away. And as you push down, open up that left arm to the sky. Good. Simple triangle pose. Nice. Now as you push down through that front foot, you might slowly play with extending the right leg a little bit and reaching the top arm over. So you're sort of pushing the hips to the back of the mat and reaching the top arm over. Good. And then drawing yourself back to center. Good, and then pushing down, feel that connection to the earth. Feel the left arm being drawn up and over. Good. And you don't have to go as far as me. Just play with what feels good in the body. Receive that sensory feedback. Good, listen to the body. Nice. Good. Now from here, we're going to come back to center. You're going to push down through that right foot. And as you do that, you're going to rise up with the torso, taking the arms wide. Very good. Start to straighten the front leg, inch that foot forward, and then lower the left hand all the way down and sweep that top arm up and over. Use a block under the bottom hand if you need to. Press the right big toe into the ground. Push down through that left shin and those left fingertips and draw that right shoulder blade in and around the upper back. Good. Crown of the head lengthens away, left side of the face parallel to the ground. Beautiful. Press down, start to squeeze the bum. Take the top arm up and then all the way forward and be lifted. Feel that right arm being lifted up. Come back to center. Rebend the right knee, frame that foot and step back to your downward facing dog. Nice, breathe here. Those of you that want it, take a vinyasa, roll forward as you breathe. Find your plank, pause. Play with the distribution of weight, shift side to side, Shift forwards and backwards, find center. Expand your awareness, receive the whole of the body's sensory information as you lower through your vinyasa if you're taking it. Good, keep moving the breath. Lovely. We all meet in downward facing dog. Good, bring the feet a little closer together, plug down through the arms. Good. Shift the weight to the right foot, take the left leg all the way up towards the sky. Nice, and then slowly gathering in the core, step that foot all the way to the top of the mat. Bring the back knee down, pause there for a moment, reposition the back knee if you need, and then push down through the fingertips, draw the hips back. And as the hips pull back, lift the left toes to the sky. Good. Press down and pull the heart forward as you rebend that left knee. And as the hips sink down, soften the tailbone, squeeze the bum and take the arms as high as feels good. Good. From the heart, reaching forward, ground the fingertips. Push down and back the hips. Good. And then again, pull forward through the heart. Ground that left big toe, spread out the toes on the left foot, press down to float up. Good, one more time, bring yourself down. Touch the floor, use the floor, press the hips back. Nice, one more time coming forward, pull the heart, ground the foot, push down, rise up. Feel how the lower back dropping down and pressing forward lets the upper spine lift up. Good. Last time, bring the hands all the way down. Press the hips back and then pause there, Ardha Hanumanasana. Good, again, don't be static. Find juiciness, find space in that left hip joint. Shake the bum, soften the left knee. Good, imagine pouring olive oil into that left hip joint. Open it up, smooth it out. Good, spread the toes on the left foot. Then pause here, push down through that left heel. And start to slightly pull in towards the left shoulder. And as you do that, feel that left thigh bone, that femur bone, plugging into the hip socket, taking that outer left hip back a little bit more. Soft jaw and full breath. Good. Start to pull yourself forward, re-ground that left big toe. Plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Just lift up the back knee a couple of times. Ease into that joint. Good. And then let the back knee come down. Sweep that left arm forward and all the way up. And then pause there, reaching back in space. Good. Draw the outer right shoulder blade in. So push down through the right little finger. Connect that shoulder blade into the spine and reach. Feel that left fingertips being pulled back in space. And if you have it, start to bend the knee. If it arrives in the body, let it be there, but don't force it. Good, again, if you're holding the foot, lift the hips away from the floor, connect the heel to the buttocks, squeeze that hamstring, and then sink the hips forward a little bit more. Good, keep the outer right shoulder blade pressing into the back, spin open from the chest. Good, keep breathing. Resist the urge to grip through the left toes, spread them and press down. Lovely, one more breath. Good. Release if you're holding the foot, take the left arm all the way up and over. Plant that hand inside the left foot. Good, let's spin the toes behind the right knee. Good, again, pad that knee if you need to, left hand stays inside the foot, use a block if you need to. Press down, and as you push down, open up your wings. Take that right arm to the sky. Good. Now just pause here and feel a sense of expanding from the collarbones out along each arm. Reach from the center of the body out down the arms. Good. And then you might play with pressing the left foot into the floor, straightening that leg and taking the right arm over the ear. Maybe, you don't have to. Push down to rise up. Push away and maybe reach. Be interested in how it feels, not how it looks. No one cares how it looks. Good. Nice. Let's come back to center. If you're gently shifting the weight, take that right arm to the sky. Now push down and feel your right hand being lifted up. Up, 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 until the left arm floats up too and you come to center. Arms reaching wide, open up the wings. Good. Now shuffle that left foot away as you straighten out your leg. Ground that left big toe and slowly tilt the weight over to the right side. Fingertips to the floor or a block. Left arm up towards the sky as the right hand presses down. And then maybe take that left arm all the way over the air. Good. Connect that left shoulder blade into the back. Plug down through the right shin, the left foot, the right fingertips. Right side of the face parallel to the ground, neck long, head supported. One more breath. Nice. Reach up, press down, and from these two energies, glide up. Good. And then come all the way round, frame that foot. Square the right toes back, plug down, plug down, plug down, and step back. Good, breathe. Good. Soft joints, soft face. Beautiful. Let's lower the knees down towards the ground. Now, we're going to have a little play with headstand, okay? If you are feeling quite high energy, if you're feeling quite a lot of mental activity, if you felt a bit spacey or a bit fragmented over the last few days with the full moon, I recommend you actually just keep your feet on the floor. Now, you get all the benefits of the headstand without even lifting your feet up. It's all about pouring the fluid in the body back towards the heart. Okay, so you can do that without lifting the feet up. If, while we're practicing, there's a moment of float and the feet just lift, then feel free to go with that, but don't force it, okay? So from the knees, bring the forearms to the ground. Interlace the hands, open up the palms, and plug the outer edges of the hands and the wrists down into the ground. Good. Elbows are a little narrower than the shoulders, and then the crown of the head comes down to the ground. Okay, rest the top of the head on the floor, rest the back of the head in the hands, move the knees a little bit further forward. Good, now just simply press down. Press down through the forearms, press down through the shins and the tops of the feet, and observe how you feel here. Maybe this is where you stay. Okay. Option to tuck the toes, option to stay on the tops of the feet. Okay, tops of the feet slightly harder. So as you're pushing down through your forearms and pushing down through the tops of the feet or the tucked toes, you might find that there's a floating up of the hips. Keep pushing down. Good. Gently squeeze the elbows in. And as you push down through the tops of the feet or the toes, feel how the front body lifts in and contracts to the back body to help support. Okay? Now, if you want to, you can start to walk forward. Good. And you can walk forward on the tops of the feet or on tucked toes, whatever you want. Now, if you're walking forward, stay in the body. Come out of the mind, receive the sensory information from the body, and rock the bum forwards and backwards. Good. Stay present in the shoulders. Observe whether there's a collapsing through the shoulders as the weight rocks forward. Even the work between the forearms, between the shoulders, between the core, between the legs. And as you're rocking forwards and backwards, if there's a moment where the feet float, and maybe the knees bend, maybe they don't, then play with that. It's just play. It's not serious, it's not supposed to be serious. Your yoga practice is supposed to be a celebration of your body and all the incredible things that you're able to do with it. So just enjoy. And if you're not enjoying, then Ask yourself, go deep and ask yourself why you're doing it. Take 2 more breaths, just playing with the transfer of weight. Come down to kneeling or child's pose if you're done. Nice. Let's all come down into a child's pose. Take the knees wide. Fold the palms on top of one another, bending the elbows wide, and just rest the forehead to the floor in between the hands and the knees. Receive the floor. Let the floor receive you. Bring your awareness to your breath and shift the effort here. Transfer the weight of effort so that you are no longer breathing. Shift yourself to being breathed, rather than requesting the inhale and letting go of the exhale. Can you relax and instead receive the breath? The breath, the energy, it wants to be consumed, it wants to be drawn in. It wants to fill you up with its wisdom, with its strength, with its potency. It wants to take from you as it leaves anything that no longer serves you. Receive the breath. Staying as the receiver, open up the palms, glide your way forward into all fours. Press down and tuck the toes and receive your downward facing dog, drawing up through the arms, let that lift the hips. Good. Option to take one final vinyasa here. Receive the movement. Option to stay in your downward facing dog, receiving that instead. Receive the sensory feedback from the body. Receive the energy up from the earth. Receive the support of the earth underneath you. Let's all meet in down dog, bending the knees and looking forward, step or jump. Come all the way through seated. Uncross your ankles, roll down through your spine and land. Take a moment with the knees bent to shift from left to right hip and feel as you gently take the knees side to side, rocking across the lower back. This sense of water or liquid in a container being poured side to side. This total fluidity and ease within the movement. No resistance. Let the knees drop out, wide, and then just kicking through the heels, slide the legs away and long. Good. And come to rest in your Shavasana. receive the stillness. As you receive this stillness into the body, a sense of arriving, of landing fully into this container that holds within it all energy, all potential, all creativity. Landing into the support of this web of life that connects everything, every object, every inanimate object, every sentient being, every single thing in this world. Let yourself land. Keep landing, keep arriving. Keep receiving. Keep listening. Start to connect to the feeling of your body, the way it rests into the earth. Begin to draw up from the earth, in from the space around you, gathering in energy, awareness. And with that, begin to slowly deepen the breath and gently move the body. It's calling on our resources, the support, this web of support and interconnectivity that is always there. you're ready, reach the arms into a big stretch. Draw the knees in. Give yourself a hug. Curl your forehead to your knees. Draw the belly button down to the spine and just make yourself tiny here. Coming all the way into your very, very center. From that center, that core, that spring of coiled, potent energy, pregnant with possibility, with strength, with connection and consciousness, start to rock up and down. And generating the lift from that central space, lifting yourself up to sit. Maybe padding your seat again, or just finding a simple position close to the ground. Let's bring the hands to the heart, one palm on top of the other. And through these palms, receive in love. Through the sensory feedback of your hands, connecting to the beating of your heart, and taking a moment just to see yourself, just to really see yourself here. Thank your body for the practice, thanking it for the movement, the energy, the power. Bring the palms to rest in prayer. Lift the prayer to the third eye. And in gratitude, let's bow down towards the earth. And rising back up to sit. Bring the hands back down to the heart. And just take a moment to express gratitude out into the wider community. Whether we're connected by technology or physical touch, it doesn't matter. That energy is out there, it connects us all, it breathes and expresses out into that connectivity, that web of life that supports and connects us all. When you're ready, release the hands down. Place a smile on your face. And let your eyes gently open. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening, and I look forward to virtually seeing some of you soon, and connecting with you all again as soon as possible.